The Pentagon releasing never-before-seen files related to UFOs, or UAPs as they call it, unidentified anomalous phenomena that have remained sealed in government records for decades. Now, this first batch of documents, videos, and photos are now up on a government-run website for Americans to view. The Pentagon says more are going to be released on a rolling basis.
President Trump hinted at the file drop nearly a month ago when he said some very interesting documents would be released by the Department of Defense very soon. But the government has not provided detailed explanation or analysis about the files, at least not yet. Tracking this one, NBC News senior correspondent Tom Costello. Tom, we know about 162 files were released on this website from the Pentagon, State Department, FBI, and NASA. There is a lot to review, but what are we learning from them so far?
Not much. I hate to tell you, not much. I mean, listen, it seems to be more of the same, more of these very grainy photographs of what looks like an infrared black dot in the sky, or videos, as you're seeing here, with really not a very good explanation whatsoever. Some of these are literally dating back to we've seen reports in the files dating back to the 1940s, quite literally of an Air Force officer reporting that he saw what he thought was some sort of a disc, a flying disc in the air. We even saw a letter from the 1960s of a lady who wrote to the FBI director saying she's interested in UFOs. She signed up for some UFO information, and now she's afraid that it's a front for a communist organization. So all of this is kind of a part of this treasure trove, this document dump earlier today. However, I will say, here's what the Secretary of Defense said about the relationship between these documents and what they're looking at. He said these files hidden behind classifications have long fueled justified speculation, and it's time that the American people get to see it for themselves. You guys?
Tom, real quickly here, you mentioned the decades of history. You know, some of these incidents happened during the Apollo 12 and Apollo 17 moon missions. What are we learning about that?
So take a look. Here's a photograph right there. This is Apollo 17 standing on the moon, and look what we have identified up there in the sky. See those three dots? That is what the Apollo astronauts, Apollo 17, said that they had seen over their position there in the night sky as they're standing there on the moon. Now, what is that? We don't know. They have since said it could have been ice crystals. It could have been something coming off of, for example, the orbiting spaceship as they were on the surface of the moon. A lot of unanswered questions still right now. So it's just adding fuel to the fire of speculation. Can I just blow your mind for 30 seconds?
Please do.
Actually, I'll take 10 seconds. There are thought to be 2 trillion galaxies out there.
Right.
2 trillion. And there may be a septillion star systems. That is a trillion with 24 zeros. So what do you think are the chances that out there somewhere there may be life? That doesn't mean that they've made it here to planet Earth.
Right.
But it is just a never-ending universe.
He's a man of science and statistics, and we appreciate that about you, Tom. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.